Welcome back to ApeTech Tutorials, Scratch Edition, where we teach you guys how to program in a simpler, more graphical way. We really hope you guys enjoyed our last tutorial on how to create a matching car flip game. If you haven't checked it out, please check that one out. Today's tutorial is a multi-part series. We're going to be teaching you guys how to make an obstacle course game. In today's part, for part one, we're going to teach you guys how to control your character to jump up and down, and a object that comes towards your character to look like it's in motion. We're also going to be teaching you guys a kind of a what happens if your character gets touched by that other object, kind of a reaction, how to do that. So stay tuned and please subscribe, click the like button, and thank you so much guys for all your support. Let us know if you guys have anything specific you want to see or anything you want to learn. Let's go ahead and look at our demo. Here is our game, or our beginning of our game. And please take note of these variables here. These variables are going to be, this one here specific is going to be changing. This one is constant. So just take a look at that and give you guys a quick demo on this game. So basically what I'm just trying to learn how to do here, or teach you guys how to do, is how to make my character jump and show you guys how to make this ball look like it's rolling. And then when the ball touches my character, then my character changes the way it looks. So that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to teach you guys how to make a character jump up and down and make an object look like it's actually in motion. So let's go ahead and get into the code. Stop this guy first. And I am going to be showing you guys through the slides again. I feel like it's easier for those who have smaller screens to be able to see those, since it's a bigger image. But before we get there, just want to let you guys know that we're going to be building two variables today. We have a jump height, which is our constant, and a jump velocity, which is the variable that changes as we jump. So to create a variable, for those who do not know, is you just click on that little button that says make a variable on that menu, name your variable, and then click OK. Usually we leave it for all. It doesn't really matter unless you are specific that you do not want that variable to be changed by any other sprite. You keep it as only by this sprite. And then also for those who are new, this here I just got access to. I became an official scratcher, and when you become an official scratcher, they give you the ability to have cloud variables. So what this means is I will be able to save high scores or things like that on the server. So when people come back to play the game, they will be able to see what was the highest scored from the previous games, or who has. I don't think I want to save names just for purpose of security, but I will save scores. And this is one of the things we're going to take advantage of in this series of tutorials we're going to do. So just wanted to put that out there. And let's go back to our code. So let's go to our slides, because it might be easier for those of you with smaller screens to see these. So when our flag is clicked, we set this jump height to 15. And then we're going to set our character to be in forward in the front layers, one layer forward, because I noticed that my ball was always coming in front of my character, and I don't want that. I want it to look like the ball is going to hit it, not go in front of it and around. So that's why I put this here. And then this forever loop here, what we wanted to do is if the space bar, which is the one that I'm using to control the jump of my character, is pressed, then we set the velocity to jump height. So we set velocity jump velocity to 15, which is our number up here. And we repeat this inside until velocity, the jump velocity is equal to 0. So we change the y by jump velocity. So we're gonna be constantly changing the y for the character as it's going up by y velocity. And then at the same time, we're going to be decrementing that jump velocity by 1. So that will make it look, we'll know when we get to the top, so we know to get down, right? And then we repeat the jump velocity until it's equal to negative 15. And this is how you do this negative. Since our jump height is 15, we want to make it check for when it's negative 15. So when it's negative 15, we're going to change jump velocity by negative 1, and then we're going to change y by jump velocity. So it's gonna make it this specific code here, this if right here, is gonna make our character look like it's jumping up and then it comes down, up and down. It gives it that motion of jump up, but then it comes down. And this number can be changed. The 15, you can have it jump higher or jump lower. I left it at 15. I thought I wanted him to be in my screen, but we'll be playing with those numbers later. Now I have another if here that is specific for when the ball touches the character. So when the ball touches the character, we want to switch to that other custom that look like an astronaut looking kid, and we want to wait for 5 seconds. And then after that passes, we want it back to go to our regular character. And that's it for the whole jumping and changing looks of our character. Again, we're just trying to start very simple so that everybody can understand this. Now the next one here is for our ball. And like I mentioned, my characters are going to change for neither temporary characters. I am going to make them more, probably the ball will be like a fireball or something like that. That will be a little more dangerous. But for our sprite ball, we wanted to show. And the reason we wanted to show is because we have it hide somewhere down here. And if I don't put the show there, we will not show. When the flag is set, we want it to show and we want it to be at this location. And this is only when you start the game. So at the beginning of the game, that's what it's going to do. And then forever, we want again to have it show, because once it gets off the screen, it disappears. And if you don't put the show, it will never reappear on the other side of the screen. And we want it to come back. We don't want it to look like it's gone forever. Even though it is there, it's just invisible if you don't put the show. So put the show, and then again set the X and Y to where you want it to show. Because even if you put the show, and that's one of the mistakes I did. I put the show and I was like, why is it not showing? It should be there. But the problem is I never told it where to show. So it was showing, but I wasn't too sure. Maybe it was showing somewhere outside of the screen that I couldn't see. So you have to specify what X and Y you want it to go to. Okay, and then forever, or repeat until the edge, actually for this. This is when our ball is, we're gonna make our ball roll until it touches the edge, and then it's gonna change, it is gonna hide. So to make it roll, what you do is change the X by, depending on which way you're going. If you're going towards the left, then you have to go negative change for the X. And then you have to turn rotations towards the left. But you have to remember the actual pie chart. And I'll show you guys a little pie chart right now. But you have to go on the degrees that are on the left side of the pie chart. to make it look like it's rolling to the left. If it's to the right, then if you go with the default values of 10 and you turn your degrees to the right and leave it, you can leave it to the default value of 15 degrees, then you should be fine. But it's going to the left that is slightly different because you're going the opposite way. So what I wanted to make it look was it was rotating, not just like shifting. So I made several different customs of it, and I'll show you really quickly how I did that. It was very easy, so that whenever we're in this repeat until it touches the edge, we want it to look like the ball is rotating. So then we do a hide the ball. Once it touches the edge, we hide our ball, and then we show it again, and then we do this forever. So that's how it looks like it's always going forever. So let's go ahead and show you guys how I did those sprites for the ball. So you go to customs, you're gonna have one, let's say you have one, right, and you really want it to look like it's rotating. So all you do is you do a duplicate of it, and make sure you duplicate the one you're rotating, right, and then highlight the whole thing, and it has this little arrow loopy thing. All you do is rotate it ever so slightly to make it change. So what I did, I directed myself by using this here, this item, and then I duplicated that one that I just changed, and then highlight the whole thing again and changed it again a little, and that'll make it look like the ball is actually rolling instead of just kind of like flickering. I'm gonna delete this guy and this guy because I already have those. And the number of the actual sprites you need, it varies. I went with 7 just because I wanted this one to go all the way down here, but it depends on your object. Obviously, if your object is more detailed, you will have to change the whole thing to rotate around. But the soccer ball looks very similar in all its faces. Before we get to the showing you guys the character sprite, I don't know why I kept calling it a pie chart, but it's a degree chart. I guess I kept thinking of the pie. But this is how you choose those angles. So if your ball is rotating this way towards the left, then your angles are gonna be on this side of the pie chart because you want it to go this way. But if you wanted to rotate to the right, then your angles are going to start on this way, coming this way. It's basically simple geometry. For those of you who have seen geometry, it's just choosing the correct angles. And I had mine, I think, at 245, so somewhere here. But I could have chosen any other angle on this side too. And I'll be playing with those angles. So let's look at the character now for our sprite. Okay, and then for our character here, I had 2 different customs. Had the Ben A custom and this Kiran B custom. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, this is basically it. Just showing you guys the simple basics on how to get started. For the next tutorials or the next steps for me is to obviously get this character to go forward and backwards. I want him to go forward and backwards. I also want to make walls that randomly appear, and our background is going to be scrolling. It's going to look like we're going to different places with walls and things like that. And I'm also going to be working on maybe changing the sprites a little, but that's for the next steps. So a quick summary: you just basically learn how to do have a sprite be controlled by jumping up and down, how to make an actual sprite look like it's rotating towards another sprite, and how to interact both sprites together to touch them. So if they touch, something happens. This is what we learned in this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. We we will be putting the second one pretty soon, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like us, and we'll see you guys. Stay safe. Bye.